Hi there, my name is Steve Gerhardt, and this is the Unagi Observer. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching the video this week. Before I get into things, just to let you know, next week there will be a video, but it's going to be kind of different than what I normally do, simply because next week I'm actually going to have to go to the hospital to help a friend. The pretty lady who gives me food has to get some surgery done, so I need to take care of her next week. So, so you'll get a video. Don't worry, there'll be a video, but it'll just be somewhat different than normal. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, today we're going to talk about a kind of like an anime anthology of horror anime, and it's the Junji Ito collection. You can find it on Fun Animation and I believe Crunchyroll at this point. So let's go ahead and talk about horror anime. Do you like horror? Do you like anime? So here is a good combination of horror anime. Now note, I'm not saying Guro in this, even though Junji Ito does from time to time put in some blood splatter and a little bit of Guro in there. That's really not his main emphasis. So the Junji Ito collection is kind of like that. If you're looking for like Chainsaw Man, Blood and Guts, no, this is going to be more Lovecraftian horror kind of stuff, which is what Junji Ito is good at. The anime series itself is quite simply just a collection of his stories. So if you're familiar with his manga, you'll see a lot of stories from his manga in this collection. This is not the only anime collection, by the way. There are a couple others that he's put out over the years. But this is, I think, one of the more recent ones, and it's literally called the Junji Ito collection. You can find it on Fun Animation right now. It's probably going to move over to Crunchyroll pretty soon. So, so if you're looking for Guro and just blood and body horror, not so much with Ito's work. Ito's work, like I said, is Lovecraftian, so it's more about things that happen for no purpose or no reasons or no fathomable reasons, and there's always a twinge of madness going on around the characters or the main character. For example, one of the first stories is about a kid who does who likes to make curses on people, and that's what he does. And there's no real rhyme or reason to what he does. He thinks very highly of himself, but he just kind of does the thing to do the thing, right? And so there's no real rhyme or reason to it. The second episode on there has to do with a doll that there's a little. It's only about 5 minutes long, and it's basically how when children die, they turned into dolls so that they can keep speaking to the parents until they actually die. Their soul goes away, and that's kind of creepy. And again, it's this level of madness that's just you're just sucked into it. One of his works is called Uzumaki, where it's all about spirals. And we were supposed to get that anime on Adult Swim, but I don't think we ever got it yet. But so this collection is very much cosmic horror. So if you're looking for, like, why is this happening? Why is this person turning into a monster? Why is this person having dreams that last for 10 years in his sleep, but he's only been asleep for like 5 minutes? You know, why is this happening? And you don't get answers to that. So just be prepared for that eventuality. There's no reason for it. One of the stories involves a very horrific looking model who turns out to be a monster that eats people. That's it. So you're not going to get the why. You'll get the how. You'll get this like idea of just like wanting to know, understanding, and not being able to. So, and that's kind of Ito's shtick there, and that's kind of what cosmic horror is supposed to be, where it's just like you're presented with this idea, you're presented with this image, again, very Lovecraftian, where you're presented with these things, and you're just like, okay, I'm getting frustrated, and because I don't know what this is, and the character's slowly going mad, and I don't understand why, and why am I going mad? You get the idea. So that's the whole rabbit hole you're supposed to go down. So if you're into that, then the Junji Ito collection is very much going to be up your alley. The animation on this is fine. It's not great. it's not bad. It's serviceable. Don't be looking for CGI stuff. Don't be looking for, incredibly, they spent a lot of money on the budget for this animation. Nope. But it does the thing that it's supposed to do, which is to tell the story. So, again, if you're into horror anime, not necessarily Guro, but horror anime, this might be up your alley. For the average anime watcher, this might be kind of one of those things where you might get into it 5 minutes into it and you'd be like, I don't really care. But just to kind of give you an idea of Junji Ito himself, he was born about 60 years ago. He actually went to dental school, okay? And that's for his manga. That's kind of where he draws his muscles. So when there is horrific imagery happening, or if there is some level of body horror, he's basing it off of his dental work experience, which is kind of unique. And again, he does in his manga, if you read his manga, it's almost ghost story-like, right? It's not really going to be slash him up, dice him up, that kind of stuff. So it's definitely, he's got a cult following. He's got a very strong cult following, actually. But you kind of have to be into that kind of stuff to really, So if you like Lovecraftian books, stories, and ideas and things like that, this will be right up your alley. If you're the average anime watcher and you just want to watch something, and you might get into this and you're probably going to be like, okay, not really getting it, so we're going to move on to Eurocamp. That's fine too, but because it's definitely not for everybody. So yeah, so that's it in a nutshell. Junji Ito's the Junji Ito collection. You can find it again on Fun Animation. It's kind of a brief review today because there's actually really not much to talk about. You just kind of have to experience it. So if you want to experience it, by all means. I will say, personally speaking, I think the anime style, his style of drawing in anime doesn't work that well, but when you take it into the manga form, it works perfectly well. So there might be that distinction as well. This might be more of a manga thing than an anime thing. So I'm just going to throw that out there. So, yeah, buyer beware. It's up to you. Okay, there we go. Junji Ito collection.